Have you ever stopped to think about how much your life could change if money stopped being a constant worry? Do you feel stuck in a life where money is never enough? Does this question resonate with you? If so, I want to invite you on a journey that could completely transform the way you see and handle money. Here's the promise. In this video, you'll learn how to apply Solomon's principles to transform your relationship with money and achieve financial freedom. Yes, it's possible. And, contrary to what many believe, the answer is not working harder. It's thinking and acting with wisdom. Imagine for a moment, what if the key to your prosperity wasn't about how much you earn, but how you use what you already have? What if there was a smarter, lighter, and more impactful way to manage your finances? That's exactly what I want to show you. Let me tell you a story. John was a small business owner. He worked tirelessly from dawn to dusk, but felt like no matter how hard he tried, he couldn't get ahead. His bills seemed to grow as fast as his income. It was like running on a treadmill, expending energy but getting nowhere. One day, a friend gave him a simple yet powerful piece of advice. "John, have you ever heard of Solomon's principles? He's considered one of the wisest men who ever lived. Why not try applying some of his ideas to your daily life?" Curious, John decided to give it a shot. He started small, tracking his expenses, reassessing his priorities, and creating a plan to manage his debts. Slowly, things began to change. Over time, John not only paid off his debts but also managed to invest, grow, and build a stable financial life. John didn't have more resources or talents than anyone else. What he had was a new way of thinking, and this same mindset is within your reach. In this video, you'll learn something valuable. It doesn't matter if you're starting from scratch or already have some experience managing money. Before we dive in, I have a special invitation for you. Subscribe to the channel right now so you won't miss any incredible content that will transform your perspective on prosperity and wealth. And don't forget to like this video. It really helps spread this message to more people. Now, I want to know, do you believe you're ready to attract good things into your life? Comment below with faith. I attract prosperity and wealth. Let's fill this space with positive energy and begin this transformation journey together. What we're about to explore are ideas that can completely change your financial perspective. Here's what you'll discover. 1. Redefining prosperity. Learn that prosperity is about more than money. It's about balance, purpose, and using what you have for something greater. 2. Solomon's principles for financial decisions. How wisdom, planning, and discipline can change your path. 3. Turning crises into opportunities. Because tough times can be powerful allies in your growth. 4. The power of relationships and generosity. Discover how the right alliances and a generous heart can open unimaginable doors. Imagine the impact this could have on your life. By the end of this video, you'll have practical tools to start building a more balanced financial life aligned with your values. But before we continue, take a moment to reflect. What is your biggest financial challenge today? What would change if you had the wisdom to handle it more efficiently? Think about that as we move on to the next step. What really is prosperity? Let me start with a question that could change the way you see your life. What does prosperity mean to you? Often, when we hear this word, our minds automatically picture material wealth, luxury cars, impressive houses, exotic travels, or a never-ending bank account. But is prosperity really limited to these external symbols? Is it only about money, status, and accumulated possessions? The truth is, prosperity goes far beyond numbers or possessions. Prosperity is about how you live your life and how you use the resources you have. whether they are financial, emotional, spiritual, or relational, for something greater, something that brings meaning and impact. It's about finding a genuine balance between your needs, dreams, and the purpose that gets you out of bed every day. Solomon, widely recognized as one of the wisest men who ever lived, wrote in Proverbs 22 verse 4, "Humility and the fear of the Lord bring wealth, honor, and life." This powerful statement reveals that true prosperity isn't confined to the material. He speaks of something far deeper, a life rich in meaning, grounded in values, connected with purpose, and wrapped in balance. This is the kind of prosperity that truly matters, the kind that endures even when circumstances change. Now, I want to invite you to rethink the concept of prosperity. Instead of focusing on how much we earn or what we want to achieve, let's ask ourselves, what are we doing with what we already have? Are we using our resources to improve our lives and the lives of others? Or are we just accumulating and trying to fill temporary voids? Imagine for a moment two people. The first earns a lot of money, owns impressive possessions, but lives in constant anxiety, trapped in a cycle of worry and dissatisfaction. The second doesn't have as much but lives in peace. They have their health, are surrounded by loved ones, and have clarity of purpose in life. Which of these two people would you say is truly prosperous? Prosperity, after all, isn't just about having. It's about being whole, being balanced, being connected with what truly matters. And that's exactly what I want to show you throughout this discussion. I promise you'll learn how to balance these elements to achieve a prosperity that is real, lasting, and goes far beyond temporary circumstances. We'll explore how to transform your relationship with money, your resources, and even your challenges so you can build a life rich in meaning and purpose. But before we move forward, there's something essential we need to do. Dismantle the myths that may be sabotaging your relationship with money. Let's discuss two common myths that have a profound impact on how we view finances and prosperity. 1. Money is evil. Have you ever heard this phrase? Many people grow up believing that money is the root of all evil. But is that true? Once again, Solomon teaches us that the problem isn't money. It's an uncontrolled love for it. Money, when used wisely, is a powerful tool for creating positive impact in people's lives. 2. You can only be prosperous if you work harder. Of course, work is important, but have you noticed how some people work tirelessly and yet always seem broke? The secret isn't just in effort, but in the wisdom with which you apply that effort. Working harder without a strategy is like running through a maze without an exit. You expend energy but go nowhere. When you start breaking these myths, something powerful happens. You free yourself from limiting beliefs and make room for a new way of looking at your finances. Now, I want you to pause and think. If you had twice the money you have today, what would you do with it? Mentally list your answers. Done. Now reflect. Do these answers reflect what truly matters to you? Often, we desire more money to satisfy temporary wants, but forget to consider the real and lasting impact it could have on our lives and the lives of others. Think about that. Prosperity doesn't start with how much you have, but with how much you value and use what you already possess. Wisdom above all. Let's travel back in time and imagine a pivotal moment in history. Solomon, still young, had just taken the throne of Israel, a position surrounded by immense responsibilities. He stood before a vast and complex nation full of challenges. In the midst of this reality, God appeared to him in a dream and made an offer that would change his life. Ask for whatever you want, and I will give it to you. Now, imagine yourself in his place. You, with the whole world before you and the chance to ask for absolutely anything. What would you ask for? Infinite wealth to live without worries? Power to rule with supreme authority? Long life to enjoy the blessings you'd receive? These would be common answers, wouldn't they? But Solomon did something unexpected. He asked for wisdom. In 1 Kings 3 verse 9 he said, "So give your servant a discerning heart to govern your people and to distinguish between right and wrong." Take a moment to reflect on this. Solomon didn't ask for material possessions, prestige, or longevity. He asked for the ability to discern, to understand, to make wise decisions. He knew that without wisdom, any wealth, power, or success would be fleeting. Wisdom was what he needed to build something enduring. This choice was so significant that it impressed God. As a result, not only did God grant Solomon unparalleled wisdom, but he also added incomparable riches and honor. Solomon became renowned not just for his greatness, but for his ability to resolve conflicts, govern with justice, and teach lessons that resonate to this day. Now, what does this mean for you and your life? It's simple. Wisdom is the foundation of everything. It's what allows us to make intelligent decisions, avoid costly mistakes, and create a path to sustainable prosperity. Without wisdom, even the greatest fortunes can be lost quickly, like sand slipping through your fingers. On the other hand, with wisdom, even the most limited resources can multiply, producing extraordinary results. Solomon taught us that wisdom isn't something we're born with. It's something we can seek and cultivate. This means that no matter where you start, you can always gain more understanding and clarity to face life's challenges, especially financial ones. Here's the promise. By adopting wisdom as a guiding principle in your life, you'll be able to make safer, more strategic decisions that align with your values and goals. This will help you avoid costly mistakes and build a solid foundation for a life of prosperity and balance. So, the question is, are you willing to make wisdom the cornerstone of your choices, just as Solomon did? This could be the missing key to transforming not just your relationship with money, but every area of your life. Planning and discipline. Here's one of Solomon's most practical and direct pieces of advice, found in Proverbs 21 verse 5. The plans of the diligent lead to profit, as surely as haste leads to poverty. These words carry a timeless truth that applies perfectly to our financial lives. Solomon teaches us that financial success isn't about luck or random events. It's the result of careful planning and consistent discipline. Let's unpack this further. What does it mean to plan well? It means making decisions based on clear objectives, understanding your priorities, and creating a roadmap to achieve them. Acting hastily, without considering the consequences or having a structured plan, often leads to financial problems that could have been avoided. Now, let's bring this into a daily scenario. Imagine you dream of taking an incredible trip next year. Without planning, what happens? You might find yourself just before the trip without the necessary funds, resorting to credit cards or loans to cover the costs. The result? Debts that may take months or even years to pay off, causing stress and regret. Now compare this to someone who plans ahead. By setting a travel goal and saving small amounts regularly, the same trip becomes a stress-free and completely enjoyable experience. There's no worry about debt or interest payments afterward, just the satisfaction of having achieved something carefully prepared. Here's a simple and effective guide to start. 1. Set clear goals. Ask yourself, what do you want to achieve? How much will it take? Be specific. Don't just say, I want to save money. Say, I want to save $5,000 in 12 months for the trip of my dreams. 2. Create a realistic plan. Break your goal into smaller, measurable steps. For example, saving $416 per month or about $14 per day. This breakdown makes the goal less intimidating and more achievable. 3. Stay disciplined. Resist the temptation to use the money earmarked for your goal for other things. This requires self-control, but the reward is worth the effort. By applying these principles of financial planning, you'll see that abundance is closer than it seems. It's within reach through simple, consistent, and strategic actions. Diversification, a key to resilience. Another powerful principle taught by Solomon is resource multiplication through diversification. In Ecclesiastes 11 verse 2, he wisely advises, "Invest in 7 ventures, yes, in 8. You do not know what disaster may come upon the land." These words are particularly relevant today. Essentially, Solomon is saying, don't put all your eggs in one basket. When you rely on just one income source or concentrate all your resources in a single investment, you expose yourself to unnecessary risks. An unforeseen event could disrupt your entire financial stability. On the other hand, when you learn to diversify your resources, you create a more resilient and sustainable financial system. Diversification is like building multiple pillars to support your financial life. Even if one is shaken, the others remain standing, ensuring your security. Practical ideas to start diversifying. If you have a steady job, consider developing a skill you can monetize as an extra income source. It could be something you already do well, like teaching, crafting, or offering services in your community. If you already invest, evaluate whether your resources are concentrated in a single type of asset. Consider expanding into different areas like fixed income, stocks, real estate funds, or even international investments. This reduces the impact of fluctuations in a single market. If you're an entrepreneur, think of ways to broaden your business's reach. Explore new audiences, diversify your products, or even seek partnerships that open doors to new opportunities. The promise. By diversifying your income streams and investments, you'll build a stronger financial foundation ready to weather life's inevitable ups and downs. Now, I want you to pause and reflect on your current financial life. Are you applying any of these principles of planning and diversification? If not, which one could make the biggest difference for you right now? Talvez você precisa começar pelo planejamento para organizar seus recursos de maneira mais eficiente. Ou talvez seja hora de explorar formas de diversificar sua renda e criar novas oportunidades. O mais importante é escolher princípio e dar o primeiro passo. Reflita sobre isso. Como você pode começar a aplicá-lo ainda hoje? Pode ser algo pequeno, mas lembre-se, grandes mudanças começam com pequenas ações consistentes. The story of Joseph. Let's dive into another inspiring story, that of Joseph, a young man who rose from slavery to become the governor of Egypt. Joseph's life was marked by crises. He was sold by his brothers, falsely accused, and thrown into prison. Yet, he didn't let these hardships define his future. Joseph had a unique skill. He could interpret dreams and plan wisely. When Pharaoh had a mysterious dream about 7 years of abundance followed by 7 years of famine, Joseph was called to interpret it. Not only did he explain the meaning, but he also proposed a practical solution. Save 1/5 of the harvest during the years of abundance to ensure survival during the years of famine. And what happened? Joseph saved Egypt from famine and ensured prosperity for himself and his family. What does this teach you? That even in the toughest moments, there's room for strategy and innovation. Crises are not just obstacles. They're also opportunities for learning, growth, and change. Promise. By the end of this section, You'll understand how to turn financial challenges into opportunities to build something new and sustainable. Resilience and patience. Crises test us in many ways. They can feel endless, like walking through a tunnel with no light at the end. But there's something powerful we can learn from those who face such situations. Resilience and patience are essential to overcoming them. Take the example of Anna, a single mother who lost her job during the pandemic. Instead of giving in to despair, she decided to reinvent herself. Using her culinary skills, she began selling homemade meals in her neighborhood. At first, it was tough. The profit was small, and the work was intense. But with patience, she gained customers, improved her recipes, and within a year, not only sustained her family but also opened a small restaurant. Anna could have given up, but she chose to persist. Like Joseph in Egypt, she saw the crisis as a chance to start anew. Promise. With patience and resilience, you can turn difficult moments into milestones of triumph and growth. Now it's your turn to act. Grab a piece of paper and pen or open a note on your phone. I want you to make 2 lists. 1. Current financial problems. Oh, what's worrying you right now? It could be debt, lack of income, or any other challenge. 2. Possible solutions. Oh, think of at least one practical idea for each problem. It could be renegotiating a debt, finding a new source of income, or reassessing your expenses. After making these lists, choose one solution to start working on today. It doesn't have to be something big. A small step is already progress. When we look at crises through a different lens, we discover they carry the seeds of opportunities. Think about a time in your life when you overcame a difficulty. What did you learn from that experience? How can you use that lesson to face your current challenges? The power of relationships. Have you ever heard the phrase, "No one reaches the top alone"? It might sound like a cliché, but it holds a deep and undeniable truth. No great achievement happens in isolation. There are always people, directly or indirectly, contributing to success. Solomon, in his vast wisdom, recognized this and emphasized the priceless value of relationships. In Ecclesiastes 4 verses 9 to 10, he wrote, "Two are better than one, because they have a good return for their labor. If either of them falls down, one can help the other up." These words reflect a timeless reality. The right alliances make all the difference. Whether at work, in personal life, or in your most ambitious projects, having people by your side to share goals, exchange ideas, and offer mutual support is one of the greatest secrets to success. Strong alliances not only enhance your results, but also provide a foundation of security in tough times. Solomon, who ruled over a vast kingdom and faced enormous challenges, knew that no one, not even a king, can do everything alone. He understood that surrounding himself with trustworthy people, aligned in skills and values, was essential to achieving great feats. The same is true for us. Whatever your goal, you'll need the right people by your side to inspire, motivate, and, when necessary, help carry the load. Now, let's bring this to your life. Who are the people around you? Take a moment to reflect honestly. Who are the ones that truly inspire, support, and encourage you to grow? Perhaps it's a friend who always brings great ideas, a mentor who shares valuable experiences, or a colleague who effortlessly connects with you to solve problems. On the other hand, it's equally important to identify those who may be draining your energy. These could be individuals who constantly criticize your ideas without offering solutions, or those who simply don't align with your values and goals. Maintaining such relationships can be an unnecessary burden, hindering your progress. This doesn't mean you should cut ties without reason, but rather that you need to be strategic about who you share your time, energy, and trust with. After all, your network of relationships is like the soil where you plant your ideas and efforts. Fertile soil yields abundant fruit, while poor soil can choke even the best seeds. Promise. By surrounding yourself with people who share your vision and values, you will multiply your chances of success and achieve more than you ever thought possible. Strong relationships not only expand your opportunities, but also strengthen your resilience in the face of challenges. Here's a practical exercise. Make a list of 2 categories of people in your life. 1. Those who uplift you. Who are the people that inspire you to grow, innovate, and move forward even when things get tough? Consider how you can invest more in these relationships, whether through an honest conversation, a sincere thank you, or even proposing a new partnership. 2. Those who limit you. Who are the people who, consciously or unconsciously, drain your energy or hold you back? Perhaps it's time to evaluate these relationships and set healthy boundaries. Alliances are not just a resource, they're a strategy. The power of the right connections is something Solomon understood perfectly. By applying this principle, you'll see how your journey can gain strength, direction, and meaning. After all, 2 are better than 1. Together, we always go further. Generosity as a seed for success. Solomon also taught something that might seem counterintuitive at first. The generous will be blessed, for they share their bread with the poor. Proverbs 22 verse 9. This is a lesson that challenges the conventional logic of the world, where we're often encouraged to accumulate, protect, and hold on to our resources. But Solomon knew that generosity has a transformative power for both the giver and the receiver. Think about it. The idea of giving, especially when you feel like you don't have much, can be uncomfortable or even scary. After all, how can you share when it feels like you barely have enough for yourself? But there's something magical about generosity. It creates a cycle of abundance that goes far beyond material wealth. When you help someone, you're not just improving their life, you're also transforming your own. It's like planting seeds in fertile soil. The initial impact might seem small, but over time, the harvest is remarkable. Generosity is much more than giving money. It's an act of sharing, a gesture of human connection. It could be the time you dedicate to listening to someone, the knowledge you share with a colleague, or even the attention you give to someone who needs a shoulder to lean on. These acts, no matter how small they may seem, have the power to create profound change. Take the example of Carla, a woman facing significant financial difficulties. She had mounting bills and limited resources, yet she decided to allocate a small portion of her income to support a local NGO that provided meals for underprivileged children. At first, it was a sacrifice, and she wasn't sure if she could sustain the contribution. However, the impact was immediate. She saw how her small gesture made a big difference in others' lives, which began to transform how she viewed her own challenges. The most incredible part came next. Carla's generous attitude attracted unexpected opportunities. She began receiving invitations to community events where she met people who became professional partners. Her generosity opened doors she never could have imagined, from new connections to business collaborations that helped her overcome her financial difficulties. This is the cycle of generosity. When you give, you not only bless others but also create a positive impact in your own life. And this impact doesn't always come in the form of money. Often, it manifests as new connections, insights, opportunities, or even the invaluable sense of purpose and gratitude, the spirit of giving. It's important to remember, generosity is not a competition, nor should it be measured solely by quantity. It's about the heart with which you give, regardless of the size of the resources you have at your disposal. You can start with what you have right now. It can be a small action such as donating your time. Dedicate an afternoon to help with a community activity or support someone in your network. Sharing knowledge. Teach something you know to someone who could benefit from it, whether at work or in your community. Offering emotional support. Listen attentively to someone who needs to vent or offer words of encouragement. When you make generosity a continuous practice, you'll begin to notice that the more you share, the more you receive in return, often in ways you never imagined. Blessings come in cycles, returning to you at unexpected moments and in surprising ways. Reflection. Now, I invite you to reflect on two simple yet powerful questions. 1. Who are the people in your life with whom you can build stronger alliances? Oh, perhaps it's someone you admire but never took the initiative to approach, or a friend going through a difficult time who needs your support. Write down 1 or 2 names and think about how you can connect with them more deeply. 2. How can you be generous today? Oh, maybe it's helping a neighbor, sharing a useful idea with a colleague, or dedicating some time to a community project. The key is to take the first step, turning ideas into action. Don't let these reflections remain just thoughts. Choose one principle and take the first step today. Here are some practical actions to get started. Create a simple financial plan. List your income, expenses, and goals for the next month. This will help you see where you can adjust your finances to include generosity sustainably. Do an act of generosity right now. It could be something small, like helping a friend, sharing knowledge, or donating to a cause you believe in. Connect with someone inspiring. Send a message to someone you admire, schedule a coffee meeting, or ask for advice. These connections often lead to new ideas and opportunities. Remember, action is what turns ideas into results. A message of hope. I want to close with a message of hope. The journey to a balanced and meaningful financial life starts with small steps. No matter where you are today, you have everything you need to begin making changes. It's not about having perfect resources or waiting for the ideal moment. It's about taking the first step with what you already have. Solomon teaches us that wisdom is true wealth. By applying it to our lives, we discover that it's possible to live with more purpose, less stress, and a lasting positive impact, not just for ourselves but also for those around us. So, what are you waiting for? Your transformation begins now. Take the first step, trust the process, and remember, you are in control of your financial future. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope the ideas and principles shared here have inspired you to take the next step in your financial journey. If you enjoyed this content, don't forget to like the video. It helps the channel reach more people. Subscribe to the channel so you won't miss future videos packed with valuable tips and insights like this one. And there's more. Check out the other videos on the channel being recommended here at the end screen. They've been specially created to help you continue learning and growing. Click now and keep this journey going with us. See you in the next video, and wishing you success on your path forward.